guys, and welcome to today's podcast. We have Aubrey with Glow and Grace Aesthetics. I'm so excited to have you on today. Thank you so much for joining me.
I'm super excited.
Yay! And I'm excited. We talk all the time on Instagram, so I'm excited for everybody else to hear your journey, your story, how you got started. You are such an inspiration, just me hearing your story for other estheticians. So I'm so excited for others to hear the same. Yes. So I first want to ask how you started in aesthetics, how long you've been an esthetician.
So I started in aesthetics in 2006, so 19 years.
You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. It's so crazy to think that it's been that long because I feel like it was just yesterday. So I actually got my license in South Carolina. I went to school there. And then about in 2014, I got my laser license for laser hair removal and electrolysis. And I started working in dermatology. So started out right off the get-go working in dermatology. I worked in derm for 9 years. And they were kind of, some of them were med spa derm, but not like a big med spa. That really didn't come full force until I left the dermatology. And then I went into the med spa industry, and that was in 2015.
Okay.
And so then I've been in the med spa industry ever since. Love it. I loved it. But I wanted to start my own business. So here I am.
Exciting. I know.
Yes.
Finally, you're like able to branch off, do your own thing. And you've been an esthetician for how many years? 19 years.
Yes.
That's a long time.
Yes.
So you went straight off the bat, just derm. Medical aesthetics then?
Yes. Yeah, medical. I learned a lot about the skin in derm. I was a medical assistant, hybrid with esthetician.
Okay.
Especially starting out because I didn't have a clientele. But I assisted the doctors in surgeries. So I learned a lot about the skin layers, skin cancer.
Wow.
Super awesome learning experiences for me. I would suggest every esthetician to at least get some sort of experience in dermatology for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And would you say derm is different than medical, like a med spa?
Yes. When I was in derm, medical spas were not even out. I mean, they weren't a thing yet.
Wow.
So it was kind of like a hybrid dermatology medical spa, but they definitely focused more on the medical aspect of it, which I think was actually a challenge for me because I was ready to do skincare and promote skincare, and I'd work alongside of some nurse practitioners that I'd come into the room and they already had them on 5 prescriptions.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, but I want to get them on a skincare regimen, you know? And they didn't quite understand that hybrid yet. So it was very kind of like push-pull in the beginning for sure.
So that was challenging. I mean, was skincare really a thing at that time?
You know, it really wasn't. I think I started with the original Obagi New Derm system was like the first skincare line, and MD Forte. Those two were like the big skincare out at that time. But yeah, it was a lot of prescriptions, a lot of retinols, and then, I mean, that was a long time ago. So I do feel that we've come such a long way.
Absolutely.
As far as medical aesthetics goes.
I agree. And do you still carry any of the same, or not carry, but do you still use any of those OG products?
No.
Yeah.
No, there's been so much new advancement in products and, you know, less aggressive skincare, which I really love. That's kind of something as later in my esthetician years, I've really found a niche with is you don't have to go so aggressive to actually get results.
I know. I feel like that used to be such a big thing years ago, was the more aggressive, the better. And it's changed so much, and it's all about skin health. Hydration, if you're using exfoliators. I think it's so different. So I'm sure it's like a different, how has it been evolving with the times of skincare? Like, has it been easy to adjust? Is it like, do you always feel like you're catching back up?
I think it's not been easy to adjust, but I think with all these skincare lines that, I don't know, they just have so much more science backed behind them. And I even think that in dermatology, I mean, I follow a couple of great dermatologists on Instagram, and they're starting to emerge into this, like, you know, skin better type skincare that's not so aggressive. Like, let's not just prescribe you, you know, tretinoin. Let's get you on something that's going to tackle your concerns with many different ingredients in one. So I think instead of just a solo, you know, ingredient, it's oh, let's have hyaluronic acid in it. Let's have your antioxidants plus your retinol. And it just kind of almost, tackles that skin concern from a different level for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. And so with the skincare lines that you started with, what was the difference between you transitioning from, like, what made you switch from dermatology to med spa?
As far as, you mean going to working in a med spa, like leaving the dermatology? So I worked for an amazing dermatologist. All of them were great. I think they were just of a generation where they didn't want to, how do I say? They weren't advancing in the medical spot. They kind of were holding back. Oh, we don't know if we should buy that device, or we don't know, we don't know if we want to do that. So I really just wanted to go full force, like medical aesthetics, all aesthetics, no medical, no surgeries. I didn't want to do any of that. So I was like, oh, there's a med spa, and it's kind of new, and it was a jump to leave. And I drove far. I drove 45 minutes to go to this med spa, because in my town there wasn't any med spas. So, but and it was a new med spa, and it was an amazing experience there. But I think it was just there. That's when I really dove into HydraFacial, and love that device. Yeah, and just that is my niche. That is that's my baby. I love HydraFacial, and then just started with Skin Medica, and then Zeo Skin Health, and all these different lines. And I think that was a great experience for me, working in all those different avenues to be able to explore all the lines. So then I, now that I'm starting my own business, I'm able to pick and choose the ones that I really love. Yeah,
so align with your values and what you believe in. So did you have your laser license at that point? Were you doing lasers with the med spa? Okay.
Yes, I got my laser license when I was still at the dermatologist.
Okay. Were you doing lasers at the dermatologist?
Yes. Okay. Laser hair removal.
Okay. Was that your main laser service that you were doing at the time?
Laser hair removal, yes. That was the only one I was doing at the time. And they had, an old school machine. So, they
did it hurt?
Yes, it was terrible. It was so painful. I mean, when I would have it done, it felt like razor blades on your armpit. You're like, they've come such a long way with advancement in lasers too.
Oh yeah, the cooling systems, the whole shebang. Cooling. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I don't think anybody would be doing laser removal.
They would not.
Yes. So you said you were working with Zeo and Skin Medica. You carry different brands now. So what was your thought process at the time of carrying those lines?
When I was working at the med spa, so it kind of started with my own skin journey.
Okay.
I've struggled with rosacea actually since I've had my daughter, and she's just turned 14 on Saturday. Last Saturday.
I saw that. So cute.
Yes. So I had pretty bad bouts of rosacea, and I used Skin Medica. It was great for my skin, but just nothing would clear my rosacea. Zeo Skin Health was always way too aggressive. I tried. Oh, you just got to peel. You just got to do it. And I just never stopped peeling. Yeah. My skin never stopped getting red. And I would see that in some of my clients. Now, some of my clients loved it, right? It worked great for them. But the majority of my clients, I was just seeing that skincare was almost just too aggressive for them. Yeah. So when I went off on when I worked at the last med spa I worked at, they had Skin Better, and I fell in love with it. Yeah, I really did. So it was the only thing that helped my rosacea. I started my Maestro journey almost 2 years ago, and it just transformed my skin. And then I started seeing it in the client's skin as well. And that is just a line that I knew when I decided to start my own business, that I was like, I have to get Skin Better. I have to make this happen.
Absolutely. You're like, I can't go without it. No, that was me too. I opened up my business, and one of my requirements was I have to have Skin Better. It's like once you fall in love with a line, that's it. It's over. It's over. I can't recommend anything else. Yeah. It's so crazy. So what are your what is your thoughts on Zeo Skin as a whole? I'd love to hear that.
Their skincare
line?
Their
products.
I love their polish.
I know. That's the main thing I always hear. It's always like, I love the polish. And what is it? The Daily Defense, maybe?
Yes. Yes. I love their polish. And I don't, want to talk bad about any skincare line, but it just, my clients weren't loving it. And they might have started out on it and loved it, and then they were just coming to see me, and their skin was just, it would go through about, I mean, everyone's skin barrier, you know, throughout our life, right? The weather, any type of changes, stress, it can get compromised.
Yeah.
So I think when they were using that skincare line, it might have worked for them for the last 6 months, but then their skin barrier somehow is compromised, and it was making it worse. And then they'd get breakouts. So I really loved how Skin Better took a gentler approach.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to highlight another line that I brought on too, Hydrinity. I mean, their HA Restore Serum would heal any type of skin barrier issue.
Yeah.
That is one product that if someone comes to me and they're like, I have super sensitive skin, nothing I use works, I'm like, well, try this.
Yeah.
This will heal your sensitive skin. It won't make it worse.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Hydrinity. I mean, I love their face masks too. Do you use their sheet masks as well in the treatment room? How do you utilize it? Do you use it at home, in the treatment room, both?
Yeah, kind of like both. I think retail wise, a mask is hard to sell. I don't know why.
I agree. I feel like it's like a one-off thing. Like, here, take this home type of thing.
Yes. I use it a lot when I do just a regular signature. I have a signature HydraFacial called the Graceful Glow. And instead of the booster, I do the Hydrinity mask with the cold globes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's so relaxing. It feels so nice.
It feels so good.
Yeah,
yes.
It really is, especially.
And it instantly calms the skin down. Instantly.
It's insane. You'll literally pull the sheet mask off and their skin is like so happy.
Yes.
If you have any type of redness, you take that mask off, it's gone. I mean, that's my experience.
Yeah.
And I know my climate's a little different. I'm in sorry, I used to be in Florida. I'm in Arizona right now, and the skin is so different. Like, I need so much hydration for people's skin, and like Hydrinity is one of my favorite lines. I mean, it's been such like, I love that you said that was a game changer for your business, because I can relate totally in that way.
Yes.
And Skin Better. I mean, I think we carry almost the same, very
very
similar products. And then I want to talk a little bit about like rosacea and your skincare journey. I mean, that was very interesting to me. When I first tried Maestro, I felt like my skin felt soft, but it wasn't game changing for me. What for you, like what type of skin needs Maestro? Like, is it strictly rosacea in your opinion?
I wouldn't say just strictly rosacea. I think if you have that oily, I would get little, the little pustules on my cheeks. My skin would get red, especially if I've had like, dairy or alcohol or anything like that. And I'd wake up the next day and I'd have those. And it's like they would come and go. And when I started consistently using Maestro, because of how it really changes your pores and refines your pores, it helped so much with that oil production, the pustules. Now I still get red. I'm probably red now. You look
amazing.
You get red. Our nerves, our gut health and redness really play a role together. So, but Maestro controls it. I mean, rosacea is not curable, unfortunately, but it is controllable. And I feel like Maestro controls that.
Yeah. So that's your go-to product that you use. Like, that's your ride or die product that you could not live without for your rosacea.
Yes. And I've gone without it before, just to try other new things. We try so many new products.
Yes.
And, like, my skin needs it. It really does. It's just
incredible.
one of those products that, I think they just got the national rosacea seal. So it really, really is a game changer for rosacea. It's a great investment for rosacea clients.
Yeah. I have noticed, again, it's a specific client that needs Maestro, in my opinion, in my practice that I've seen. And it's exactly large pores, redness, rosacea. I mean, rebalancing the skin is what we need, especially in different climates, things like that. Now, as far as you carried Zeo, I'm not carried, but you had Zeo, Skin Better. What are your favorite things about Skin Better as a line?
There's science. I understand it. You know, I think you go to so many different seminars as an esthetician, and you have different speakers, and there's something about the Skin Better speakers, and I've lost their names. I think one of them is, I forget her name. Man,
it's okay.
Forget her name.
The speakers are great.
But they're great, and they just, the science behind the products. I mean, even Bio Rewind, I was very nervous. With a supplement. I haven't brought it into my practice yet, but I do have my Skin Better store and I promote it. But I've been using it for almost 4 weeks. Big difference in my skin.
Wow.
Big,
what
big
have you
difference.
noticed the biggest difference?
Less puffiness.
Okay.
Because I will get puffy with allergies, things like that. The redness is more controlled.
Okay.
And just clarity of the skin. It just looks better. And I even have clients who see me monthly.
Yeah.
And they'll be, man, your skin looks really good lately. I've had a lot of compliments like that. So I do think that Bio Rewind is really kind of helping in that instance, which is great for a supplement. You know, we forget to take supplements, but that one I've been very diligent on.
You're like, okay, so you went through the whole process. Did you have any like issues at first taking the pills, or was it a pretty easy transition?
Pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you try products? Do you like to try products before you invest in them, or do you kind of just trust the brands? Because I try products before I invest in them. I'm not like, I know a lot of people do, so I'm curious to what your thoughts are on that.
No, I do like to try it, which is why I haven't brought it on.
Yeah.
You know, just to make sure it's a fit for your practice too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you don't have that clientele that you think is going to spend money on a supplement, you know, it's hard to bring that in and take that jump. But so we'll see, you know, I mean, I think supplements are hard. I mean, they're just it's so saturated in the industry. I mean, you can go to Walmart and get a supplement. So what's the difference between that rosemary extract and the Skin Better one? You know, so you have to really learn the science behind that to be able to explain how, well, you know, it's how they do the science behind it and how they extracted it and all of this. And so, but
no, I feel like supplements is such a, like, I don't know, supplements in our realm of practice, it's so, I don't know, it's hit or miss.
It's hard with an esthetician. Now,
it's
I think someone who's an NP, right? They're better with supplements because they're
absolutely.
like, you need this, you need that. And people are like, okay.
Here you go. But you're like, like, why? Like, you truly have to believe in it. You have to try it for yourself. You have to understand it. I mean, with anything, but especially supplements. I mean, even face reality supplements and now, you know, Skin Better's Bio Rewind. It's so there. I don't know. I feel like all these companies are like trying to keep up with the supplements, and I'm trying to form my own opinion. I'm like, like, let me see how long this lasts, and not saying that it's going to go away, but I don't know. It's just it's hard for estheticians to recommend those things. Like, it's like, is it in our scope of practice? Of course, our clients trust us, but I don't know. That's my personal, like, I'm like, it's wishy-washy for me.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
Yeah. No, but that's awesome. I love hearing other people's experiences and how it's been working for your skin and how you're noticing those differences. That's amazing. Now, as far as HydraFacial goes, that's your, I know you said that's like your bread and butter. You love HydraFacial. I couldn't live without my HydraFacial. I don't do like any regular facials anymore. Like, if somebody wants a facial, you're getting a HydraFacial.
Yes.
What is the biggest, like, why do you love HydraFacial so much?
So when I worked at the dermatologist, I had my first experience with HydraFacial. It literally just came out. I think it was 2010. And I loved it then. I mean, just the results and cleaning out the pores. Now, then it was hard to, you know, you tell a client, well, this is a HydraFacial. How much is it? $149. Because that was like, you had to charge that, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, $149 for a facial, you know? So it was hard. But now I think it's become such a great treatment and it's out there and clients love it. And everyone's heard of HydraFacial now. For the most part. And they have great marketing, which helps us.
Oh, absolutely.
But that device. And I think that's what sometimes can hold you back from going on your own. Because you're like, oh, can I afford this device? You know, it's very expensive. But you can. You just have to make that jump. And it's hard in the beginning. But that HydraFacial... an amazing
their marketing
device.
Is incredible. I mean, I you know, the type of clients that you get when you have HydraFacial, it is totally different. People are looking up, the people who are looking up name brand, those are the type of clients you're getting for HydraFacial. Like, they're making sure it's a HydraFacial in their quality, they understand. And HydraFacial, you know, obviously has gotten so much PR, all the things, and everybody knows HydraFacial, which is crazy because that, like, I can't even imagine trying to sell HydraFacial, you know. I mean, it's hard. Like, in the beginning for me, it was hard. So I can't even imagine what 10 years ago or 20 years. Yeah. Like that's insane to think about that time of being like, even hearing 149, I'm like, that's cheap. I'm going to sign me up right now.
Me up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely hard.
Yeah.
And I think when you're a younger esthetician, it's definitely more challenging too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I used that device, and then, you know, when I went to the second dermatologist, I worked a little bit without it, and I tried to get him to get, I'm like, you have to get HydraFacial.
Yeah.
You have to get HydraFacial. And, but then when, you know, going back into the med spas, you know, they have the HydraFacials, and I really, established a very large clientele on HydraFacials, and my clients love it. And they, you know, it's every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they feel at their skin health. They're investing in their skin health with HydraFacial. And HydraFacial is always coming out with more advancements. They're boosters. I mean, I remember when there was just 4 boosters, and now there's what, like 12, 15? I mean, there's so many, but they all have amazing benefits.
Oh yeah.
Even partnering with like some of the booster brands like Murad. I mean, probably not a skincare line I would recommend, but that booster is amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
The acne and the vitamin C booster. So they did well with doing that. And, you know, just their customization. Yeah, it's very customizable. And I think that's why, you know, you have other devices that are similar, like Diamond Glow, right? For instance, but that Diamond Glow is just not customizable, in my opinion. Do I like the diamond tipped? Yes, but you can get that with HydraFacial.
Yeah.
Even with the purple tip.
I think it hurts so bad. I mean,
like Diamond Glow?
I got that done and I was like, ow, like this is not relaxing. That was my experience.
It can be aggressive. But you know, HydraFacial has a diamond tipped if they really wanted the diamond tip. And actually the purple tip is so very aggressive and very nice. So you really don't need that diamond tipped as much. And just their technology, the vortex. I mean, there's nothing that cleans out blackheads like HydraFacial.
No, absolutely.
No device can do it. I swear I've had experience with a lot of them, and that HydraFacial, it does it every time.
Oh yeah. No, I completely agree. They're like non-negotiable skin butter and HydraFacial. I'm not doing anything else. And if you want results, I mean, I know that there's people out there that carry, you know, other devices that are similar to HydraFacial, but I truly believe in the technology and what it provides. And I don't know, the glow is different.
The glow, yes.
The glow is so different. And and again, the boosters, the customization, everything with HydraFacial, I think once you go HydraFacial, you just can't go back.
You can't.
Yeah.
No.
There's no way. I remember I first opened my business and I was like, I'm starting from scratch. Like I want my HydraFacial, but I had to be a little bit more patient. And I'm like, should I do the knockoff? I'm like, no, like, I can't do it. I'm like, I'm going to regret it instantly. But what are your favorite boosters with HydraFacial?
So HydroLock is
so good.
So good. Just restores that hydration into the skin. Really, really does. I love that one. I love the vitamin C booster, the acne booster. I mean, all of them. You know what booster I did love is I loved I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the CTGF booster?
Yes.
So that was my favorite booster. And when they got rid of it, I was like, oh, man.
I know. A lot of people were disappointed in that one.
I loved that one as far as growth factor goes. But the Restore is very nice, too.
Yeah.
But I would say my go-tos are HydroLock, Vitamin C. I'm kind of loving the new Amoravitsa booster for texture. I never really dove into that one because I tried it once. I was like, eh. And then the more you kind of use it, you're like, oh, okay, so that's really helping for texture. And,
absolutely. And you have to figure out what's best for your clientele. I think for me, like HydroLock is a non-negotiable because in Arizona.
Yes, in Arizona, right.
Oh my gosh, you get like the life gets sucked out of your skin. It's so sad. I mean, I moved to Arizona and my skin looked like a cactus.
I mean, I visited there for a week and it was my skin was terrible.
I know, it's awful. I mean, my skin thrives in Florida, I will say. I'm like, I don't want to go back now because I'm like, it's just going to shrivel up again. But I mean, truly, I mean, you said HydroLock and I'm like, yes, that's like one of my go-to boosters. I love the Circadia Protect Plus for rosacea. Oh, yes. Have you tried that one for your rosacea?
Yes, that one is good for rosacea.
Yeah. Yes. What's your favorite?
You know, I don't like as much of the Zeo product Rosatrol, but
Yeah.
I do like that booster. And I like that booster for acneic rosacea.
Yes.
Because it controls the oil in the skin and helps with that type of rosacea more so than the dryness. The Protect Plus, I think, is good for that drier skin rosacea. But yeah, I do like that booster.
How do you simplify your boosters? Do you kind of like carry a lot of boosters, or are you more simple now that you've...
I would say now I'm definitely more simple when you're on your own.
Yeah, I think in the beginning you're like, I need this, yes, and that, and you're like,
you kind of simplify it to your favorites. But then sometimes, you'll just try. You're like, oh, well, I loved this one before. Let's give it another shot.
Yeah.
And then you'll try it, and kind of depending on what your clients are coming in with too.
Absolutely.
So, and sometimes they like something different. So trying a different booster, but the HydroLock has been like, ugh.
You know, it's funny. Oh, it's so good.
Or
I
like
used to
5
use,
boxes of that at a time.
I know, seriously. I used to use the Nassif before HydroLock.
Yes, me too.
But that bad boy is thick.
It is thick.
It is so thick. It's hard to get the solution out of the booster, and I still love it. Like I would still use it if I had it. Like, I mean, if I didn't have HydroLock, but like HydroLock has been, I mean, it's more hydrating and it gives more like of a light feel versus a heavy feel. And my clients notice the difference. They're like, what is the serum that you put on my skin? Like, my skin felt so good the next day. And it would be like hit or miss with Nassif, but
yeah, sometimes Nassif too, depending on what you put on after their skin, it would cause that pilling.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. Nobody, everyone
swear
hates
it's not
that.
dead skin.
Yeah, I know, right?
I have to like wipe it off. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
I know. I agree with that. That's so funny that you say that. No, but HydraFacial, Skin Better. What are some of your favorite Skin Better products?
Well, Maestro for sure.
Yeah.
Alpharet.
So good. You can use it with the rosacea.
Yes, and I started off with clearing.
Yeah.
And then something happened. I ran out of clearing and I had a regular one. So I tried and I was like, okay, well, I can use this too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could use intensive because it has higher glycolic.
Yeah.
And glycolic in my skin sometimes can be finicky with the rosacea. But yeah, I mean, I'll switch back and forth to clearing and the regular overnight cream. And I mean, I will not go a morning without using my Instant Effect eye gel.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, especially as a mom and a business owner.
Yes.
You need that.
Is amazing.
I know. Caffeine. Like on your
caffeine on the eyes. Yeah.
So good.
Love that. And one product for myself, I recommend it for my clients, but I don't really use Trio. I like Trio Luxe, but Trio, I think because I am more oily and I do so many serums. I mean, my favorite trio of serums is Alto, Even, and Maestro. And when I do all those 3 serums, and then I do my Alpharet at night, and then in the morning, I don't need a moisturizer because they have hyaluronic acid in them.
Exactly. Then
and
it feels
they're
too
hydrating
heavy.
and it feels too heavy. But yeah, those 3, Alto, Even, Maestro. The Alto it helps with redness too, that sun damage redness, which I have too because I did tanning beds when I was young. And then Even just kind of gives your skin a beautiful luminous.
Yes.
And it helps with that pigment, and it's that pigment suppressor. And then the Maestro for the redness in the pores.
Yeah. So. I mean, the consistency of Maestro feels like a moisturizer in my opinion.
It does.
Yes. Like I know it says serum, but I totally get what you're saying of like, if you were to put all those and then put on Trio, it would feel tacky, a little like shiny, oily throughout the day. That's so funny because Trio is like my favorite product.
Favorite? I know.
I think because I'm just like so dry. But I totally like that regimen for rosacea makes so much sense. I'm like, I would do the same, I'm a cactus, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you use Trio Luxe?
Yeah, but honestly, I don't like the feel of Trio Luxe. It's too heavy for me.
Heavy.
It's a good nighttime moisturizer if you're like feeling super dry. So I'll kind of use that as like my treatment-based hydration. Like if I'm like, oh my gosh, I need it. I'll probably use it when I get back from here, to be honest, because my skin's going to need some extra TLC. But truthfully, I love Trio. It's like my OG. That's actually the first product that I tried from Skin Better that I fell in love with. And so now I'm like, I'm a little brat, not gonna lie. When Trio Luxe came out, I'm like, let's see how good she really is. Like, I want to try her first. But like, really, like all my clients love Trio. I mean,
my husband loves Trio Luxe. Yes.
Trio Luxe.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
I gave it to him. Yeah, he is bougie. I gave it to him for post microneedling. Yeah, microneedling on him, and he's like, I love this stuff. Yeah. I need you to get me another.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love when our husbands get into skincare. My husband's like, obsessed. He's like always in the morning doing a skincare routine. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. He's not good at his nighttime though.
Yes, I know.
He needs to get on that.
Get on the nighttime.
Yeah, but I get it. Long day with the kids. You know, it can be hard. I honestly, half of the time being a mom, I'm like just slapping stuff on my face.
I know.
I'm like, it's rare if I get a chance to. I have to make dedicated time at the end of the day to, like, if I want to post something, it's a whole thing. It's like a job. Like, it's hard. Do you post a lot, like, of your? I see you post a lot of your routines.
Yeah, my routines. Yeah.
Because your daughter's 14, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
so
that easier?
I don't have I don't have any young ones at home, but yes, I do. I try to when I can.
Yeah.
But I think it's even more of a challenge posting when you own your own business.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm exhausted. You know, I've seen clients all day and driving home. And when I get home, I'm like, I don't want to post my routine.
I know. You're like exhausted.
You're like, I don't want to. But then, you know, weekends, I try to really make up for it. Or when I'm feeling good, I'll do a video and then I just like save it for later and then post it because, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, well, I have something.
Absolutely.
But the Instagram and social media, yes, I'm very active on there, but it has definitely been a struggle lately. So,
what have you found the biggest struggle with Instagram?
I think just going through the changes of when you start your own business, there's a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where you just come home and you're like, I don't want to get on there. I'm not like in a happy mood right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like,
valid.
and you just are, you know, you can't do it, or you're just exhausted and you want to spend time with your family.
Oh yeah.
You know,
oh my gosh.
I take later appointments and sometimes I don't get home till 8:00. So it's like, that's a challenge to, you know, to do all that. But I think it's, you know, creating that balance. But as I've watched a lot of entrepreneurial videos and things like that, I always watch little reels, and creating balance in the beginning when you start your own business, it's just not going to happen. And it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's okay. Like,
you're going to be working your butt off.
Yes, you're just going to be working your butt off, and balance when you're a go-getter is very hard. Because that's something I've always been, is a go-getter. Yeah. So it's very hard for me to find that balance. And my husband helps me with that. He'll be like, hey, chill out a little bit. Let's have some family time.
Aww,
so but he's really good with it. So he'll help me with that. But that's been a struggle for sure.
It's hard. It is. Social
you
media.
have little ones, so I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. I mean, luckily you have an amazing husband too, it sounds like, but like that support system truly does make a big difference. And Chris allows me, you know, once a week or not once a week, but like whenever I'm like, can I just go upstairs? Like, I just need to make some content, even if it's like pre-batching content or like taking some pictures and things like that. I mean, it is so hard. I mean, I truthfully, like, I would say my biggest downfall of Instagram is stories. Stories are so hard for me. And like, honestly, it is so hard when you own your own business and you're like trying to catch up and you're trying to do all these different things. And it, like, you really don't have, there's no such thing in my opinion as work-life balance. And it's so hard to like get everything done at the end of the day. I mean, we're literally one person.
Yes.
We have to answer our friends' calls. We have to answer our clients' calls. There's so many like different things. And right when you think you caught up, something else pops up. I mean, I don't feel like you ever really feel caught up as a business owner.
I don't think you do either. Especially when you're a solo business owner. And I think some of those days where you're really busy with back-to-back clients, and then you get the text, hey, I need this product, or hey, I need this, and I'm such a like I will respond. Like, I feel bad if I don't respond, and sometimes that's like, okay, I just need a minute. You know, you're like, okay, this is a lot, but you just kind of need a minute to.
Oh, that guilt is awful. I hate that. Sometimes I'll like open messages and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was like a very detailed message. Let me like unread this and like
press
forget. Unread, and then so I don't forget, because I'm like, oh wait, I can't forget about this message. I have to go back. And it's like, there's always somebody messaging you at some point when you own your own business. Like it's a blessing. Like, thank goodness we have that. But like, it is a lot as a one person. And even Instagram, going back to that, Instagram's so up and down. Like, it's not a very like reliable source, in my opinion, to like rely on it. It's not, you shouldn't rely on Instagram. That's why I'm always like, get your Google My Business, get your reviews, like get a good website. There's so many different factors that go into your business. So if you're ever feeling down, everyone, like Instagram's just always up and down. Don't rely on it is what I'm trying to say.
It is. I mean, sometimes you're making a reel, you're making reels and they're doing so good. They're doing so good. And then you'll go through times where you're like, how did I?
It's so annoying.
I usually get 1,000 or more and it's like 200. You're like, what the heck? You know? And I think it's just, I think they go through a reset every now and then.
Oh no, it's
I'd
like every month.
Them that.
Can we just
keep
reset?
Is everyone else going through this right now? Because
no, absolutely. And I know that, you know, I get pretty consistent views now, but there was a time with Instagram before I had a following where I would post like a piece of content. It would do amazing. Like, let's say it got 10,000 views. I would post the same exact thing a month later.
Nothing.
Yeah. Like 1,000 views. I'm like, why can't Instagram be consistent? That's why I say don't rely on Instagram. No. I'm like, there's no, for you to keep some sanity, like don't rely on Instagram. Yeah. Like appreciate what it is because it is a form of free marketing for your business, but don't like put all your chips on an Instagram. It could be gone the next day, just like TikTok, just like saying.
Yes, it could.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
But I want to get to the exciting part. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. You started your own business after how many years working for other?
Well, dermatology was about 9 and then med spas were about 7.
Oh my gosh. So you've been doing this for a long time. Yeah. So you just started on your own. Congratulations. It's been 6 months you said now, right?
Yeah, 6 months.
Awesome. How has that been so far?
It's been great. It's been I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. I wouldn't go back to working for someone else after.
Do you feel like the time was necessary like for you to build the foundation before you went solo, or do you feel like you could have done it sooner?
I do feel like I could have done it sooner.
Okay.
But I also am very faith-based and I do believe that things happen how they should in that time frame.
I agree.
So, you know, whether it's really hard for you, I think that's just how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so I think once you get that, you know, in your mind and you can't just say, well, I could have done this so much longer, like long ago. I mean, I'm 39. So it's, you know, a lot of people start their businesses younger. I feel like I'm probably more on the, you know, I don't know, older side, but
you look like you're 25.
Thank
so
you.
Of course,
but
it's never too late.
It's never too late. And I love it. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but I was doing that for other people too, you know, and, I'm just a hard worker at nature. I'm very much like my father.
Yeah.
And I have his mindset and, you know, I'll be sitting at home, like just researching stuff. Like that's what he did as a kid growing up. And I just saw him be so successful with his business, starting with nothing. I mean, and you know, my brother owns his own business. He's very successful. So I just have it in my blood.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard to find that confidence in yourself. But it was my husband who actually said, why don't we do this? You know, why don't we get a HydraFacial machine? You can do it. Like, you've done this, you've grown so much and you've done it.
Yeah.
You know, like you've put in all that work. And he's like, if you can do that, then you can do that for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think anyone who's a go-getter, they have entrepreneurship in their blood for sure.
Absolutely.
So.
I know. And what has been the, that's so amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's really cool to almost see like the family generations and the traits that you get from your mom and dad or whoever's in your life. I always looked up to my sister growing up. I'm like, but we're nothing alike now, which is weird. Yeah. But what has been like, what was that final push for you? Like, what was like, okay, I'm going solo. Like, what was the pivot for you in your journey?
I think I just felt I was ready. My husband pushed me.
Yeah.
I think just knowing that you can do it and just making that jump of like, okay, if I don't do this now, then what am I going to do? Keep working, you know, at med spas for other people, which was great experience for me. Yeah. But he was just like, you can do it. You've grown your own Instagram, you've grown your following, and you know, you've established that clientele because of you and your experience. And, so I think just taking that leap, you know, I think when I left the first med spa to come back to my hometown. I think I could have done it then. And I think I regretted that. I think I just had that like, oh, you know, I should have. And then I'm like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it now. And
exactly.
I think with each place you work for too, you get great experience that you take with you. And then you also get the experience that you're like, yeah, if I owned my own business, I don't know if I would do it that way. So I think you get a lot of that. And I had so much of that experience and knowledge. I mean, I did payroll in one of the companies. I was basically the manager and esthetician. So I had so much of that knowledge and that go-getter aspect that it just kind of was like perfect timing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's incredible. I mean, for you going solo in that time frame, I mean, I go back to like, it's all in the right timing and everything of like when you were like, I don't know, we talked so much of you going through that process, which I thought it was so fun to be a part of.
Yeah.
And you taking that leap of faith, I always get so excited when people finally do it. I'm like, you deserve this. Like it's the only person that's stopping you is yourself.
Is like yourself.
Truly.
100%.
And we all have this, fear. And I mean, I was so scared. I was like, do I deserve this? Do I, you know, is this right for me? Is this that's like the right quote unquote timing? But I love your story. That is so inspiring. There was a non-compete, right? Like, is it scary, like dealing with all that stuff as when you're going solo? Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is. And it definitely makes it harder.
Yeah.
But I also think that things happen for a reason. And you know, it's how it's supposed to be, and it's caused me to grow in other areas.
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing. I would not change how any of it started.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, in this industry, it can be, you know, a little different. I think you have people that support you, and then you have people that, you know, they just do things differently. So I love going on my own. I love being able to do things how I want to do them. And I think I was just getting to the point to where, you know, I've been doing this for so long, like this is how I want to do it. And if that's not how someone else wanted to do it, it was very hard for me to just let go of that. And I'm just like, you know, I'd get so frustrated. And so then I'm like, you know, this is where I need to be. So,
I can relate to that because there's so many times when I worked for other people where, you know, they would carry like 3 lines that I loved, but then I hated how they made you do sales and how you never felt like you could blossom into your own provider. I mean, time was limited, all these different factors. So like when you're able to branch out on your own, you're able to take all these skills and all these experiences that you're learning along the way and making it into your own practice. And I truly feel like there's some people I'm sure that are happy, but if you're like have an entrepreneur mindset, you're never going to be happy unless it's like your way, the way that you want to treat people, the way that you can see yourself and envision yourself running a business. And I just think like, again, I'm always all for people starting their own business because it's like, you've got this. I feel like for me, I started from scratch, as I'm sure a lot of people know. Oh my gosh, that was the hardest thing I've probably ever done in my life besides giving birth.
Yes.
But like, truthfully, it was like the most challenging thing that I've ever done. And I think if I would have looked back and I'm like, oh wow, like I wish that I had a base clientele when I started. But like, again, every journey has its purpose. And now I'm able to help so many estheticians that are starting from scratch. Like that's my purpose. I can help people from scratch, and I can also help establish estheticians that are just wanting to grow more, that maybe they don't know how to do these things. It's so hard when you're so lost. I mean, social media has a million different things that people preach about, how to build a following, how to get booked. I mean, it's scary.
So overwhelming.
It's so overwhelming. So, I mean, I applaud you for like having that. I mean, again, was the HydraFacial a hard investment for you? Like, was that scary?
It was scary. Yeah, it was. But I knew that that's the device I needed. Like, I just knew it. And I mean, I have regular facials on my menu, but I might do a few of those a month. That's about it. It's mainly just the HydraFacials because it's a results-driven facial.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, you know, what I really pride my business on is results driven. And then I mix, luxury and fluff into it. I mean, when HydraFacial first came out, it was 3 steps, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That was really hard to sell because clients are like $150 for 30 minutes. So I think even now they're higher price, of course, and because serums cost more, all that. But I think even still adding that fluff is great. I think clients love it. They feel like they're getting a relaxing experience. You're taking time with them, and but they're also getting a results-driven facial. Yeah,
I think that's the biggest difference between med spas and going on your own is you're never going to get that I guess that valued experience of you actually spending time on someone's skin, like feeling pampered essentially of okay, wow, I'm getting a mixture of both, but I'm not in there like in and out. And that was something that drove me crazy about the med spa world, because I'm like, I wouldn't pay money for this. Like, I want to bring my own like touch to it, and I know what I would be happy with. So it just never felt right charging like what they were charging, when I'm like, okay, I love the service, and yes, you can get good results in 30 minutes. Like, truthfully, I mean, 30 to 45.
Yeah, you really can. Yeah,
like it doesn't take that long. Yeah, to do. It can. But like when you're adding your own little touches and experiences, that's what makes a HydraFacial so great, in my opinion. What do you like to add to yours?
I love adding like massage. I mean, I do neck and shoulder massage. When they're, underneath the light, I do like a little hand and arm or a scalp. That just makes it really nice. And I always, I like to HydraFacial like hands. I think that's great. A lot of people, we neglect our hands. So I just think doing that little extra, clients love. So I love doing that. I'm huge on combining modalities. So one of my favorite procedures is the Hydra Renew Facial, which is my combo with BioRePeel, which I still do offer BioRePeel because I do like how that one has salicylic acid. Yeah. But the new Factor 5 RDS, I love that peel, and I think combining that with the HydraFacial just, boosts its results.
Oh yeah. My clients have been loving that peel. Yes. It's so good.
It is so nice. It helps refine your pores. Yeah. And that was the biggest, it stays, I feel like it's, it's not like, oh, your pores are, refined for a while and then they come back. Like, I feel like if you get on a routine with that, your pores are going to look non-existent.
I know. No, truthfully, it's so funny going from, cause I actually switched from BioRePeel to Factor 5. And it's like so funny going from like the green to the clear.
I know.
I'm like, this is so weird. I don't know. It's like the same like, process of like applying it with the syringe, but I'm like, this is so different now, but it's essentially like the same steps that I do with my HydraFacial. Yeah. But yeah, my clients have been loving that. That's so fun. What other services do you offer with the HydraFacial? Not with the HydraFacial, but just in general in your practice?
Microneedling, and I do hydroneedling a lot. So HydraFacial and the microneedling, which I love. I love Perfect Derma Peel. I've been really getting some amazing, now as we're going into summer, it's going to be like not as popular of a service. Sad. I know. Some clients who aren't out in the sun, I'll still do it in the summer, but the majority of Floridians are. Yeah. So, I love that peel. It's an amazing peel. Yeah. And, microneedling I've always loved. I've been doing that for over 10 years.
So good.
It's just anyone can have collagen induction therapy.
I know.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I love that we're mixing, of course, like Perfect Derma, you can't, unfortunately, add relaxation to that.
No, you can't. No, unfortunately.
But I love the fact that as estheticians, we can bring the whole experience and like offer treatment-based services with it. Now, with you owning your own practice, what's like the biggest thing that you wanted to change within your practice that you've seen in the med spa industry?
I think, I wanted to reach out to and cater to that clientele that really wants to take care of their skin. They want skin health, but maybe because of price, they feel like they can't afford it. Or they feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get on this Skin Better regimen because it's going to cost me $600 plus a HydraFacial. So I really wanted to not necessarily lower my prices, but, every now and then offer a special, or just gravitate towards that clientele and say, listen, we can get you on one product. Yeah. And that product can be a game changer, and then we can slowly add in. Yeah. So I think it's more taking the time with them and understanding how they feel and what they're going through with their skin, instead of them just coming in, here's 10-step skincare routine and out the door.
Oh, yeah.
And never checking on them or anything like that. I think really checking on your clients, you know, after someone gets a HydraFacial, I try
Yeah.
to, if it's a new client especially, I try
yeah.
to message them like 2 weeks later, hey, how's your skin doing? You know, did you have a breakout? It just shows that you care about them.
Oh yeah, like they invested in you, you're invested in them.
So I think that personal contact with them, and I think that's really what helped me grow my clientele just over the years, is a lot of them were just, I mean, I would wait till they came in like, oh, hey, how did your date go last time?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, your kid's birthday's coming up. So I think just establishing that personal connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of estheticians sometimes can kind of slack off a little bit, and or maybe they just don't understand how to do it.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's just, you know, being open with your client and spending more time with them, getting them on a regimen, spending more time, and being personable on social media too. That can be hard sometimes, you know, showing your red skin when you know
but clients relate to that.
Clients can relate to that, and I think it's just being relatable is how I kind of, and I didn't want to just attract you know, I think some med spas, they want to attract this like very wealthy clientele, and they kind of do everything and portray that, and it's, and I think you're missing out on a group of clientele that really will be very loyal to you. And if you just are, you know, a little bit more personable with them, or you're not afraid to offer a special every now and then.
No, that's
you
so
know?
true.
I think there's just, you know, I kind of just wanted to gravitate. Like my husband, he, you know, he worked for the sheriff's office. He just retired in January, but there were so many like cops wives that I just really wanted to help, and they wanted to help their skin. But, you know, a cop doesn't make that much money, and it was hard for them to afford it. So being able to kind of control my pricing in that aspect of, okay, well, what am I seeing here? Am I seeing and then doing something about that, or offering more value to your service. Little things that, you know, don't take you much time, just adding that in, and then they feel like they've gotten an amazing valued service.
Absolutely. So. That's so true. I mean, I still do this. If there's a client that comes in, I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm like, don't worry about dermaplaning today. You know, like I'm just going to add it. And they're like so appreciative, or like I'll give them like a little tiny sample product, and they're like so thankful. It's those little tiny details that make all the difference of you making or break that relationship with your client. And I mean, I love that you're able to, like you said, control the scenario, owning your own business. I mean, you literally are building your clientele the way that you want it. Like you're in control of the destination of your business. And it's so true. I love that you bring those little touches to your business. So I want to go back to the med spa industry, and I love how you said that, like, you don't recommend like a 10-step routine, because I feel like when I first opened up my business, I literally like was like, okay, this is what I have to do. Like I have to have bigger like sales. Like this is what they need. This is what they need for their skin. And not like necessarily that I like wanted this huge sale, but I was like, everybody needs a 10-step routine. Like I'm like, here they go. But I realized that nobody was purchasing in the beginning. Like you really have to listen to your clients and pick like 2 concerns that they may have, and be like, okay, this is the one product that you need, or 2 products that is like filling in that gap for them. So I love that you don't do like the whole 10-step routine either, because it can get so overwhelming for the client. I mean, have you noticed that in your practice too?
Yes, it can definitely get overwhelming. Now, I love my 10-step routine.
Yeah, but not everybody
I will
is.
layer serums because I just love it. I love doing my routine at night. But a client, and you have to, it's client, you know, case by case, because you'll have a client come in and you know, what do you use as skincare? Oh, I use, you know, just this and that. I'm very basic. Well, then that's my key to, okay, if they're basic, I can't, even though they might need 3 or 4 steps, I can't overload them with that. So I'm like, okay, well, let's start with a good cleanser, a moisturizer, and an SPF. And, you know, get them on that. And then they start to love it, you know, because if you overload someone with product, they're not going to love it. And if you don't love doing your skincare routine at night, you're not going to do it.
No.
So I've always loved my skincare and loved my routine. And that's what I love about Skin Better, is I just love putting it on. And but not everyone loves Skin Better. So I mean, you know, that's why I have Hydrinity and Face Reality. you know, I want more products, but I think that's hard when you start your business, because I'm so used to working where I have experience with this one. I like this. I like that. I like that. I want to bring on this. And I think in the beginning I probably brought on too much.
Yeah.
So I'm letting certain ones kind of slowly fade, but you know, my staple Skin Better, Hydrinity, Face Reality, you know, those are the products that I believe in and that I know are working. I love my Epicurin, but it's mainly for my facials, you know. But I just, you know, there's just certain things you kind of like, okay, well, people aren't repurchasing this. So let's just kind of slowly fade it. Doesn't mean it's not good, but you just kind of, you know, I kind of had that experience with the Epicutis. I love Epicutis, but no one was really repurchasing the oil cleanser. I love it, but not everyone loves it. So you just kind of have to, you know,
like figure out what your clients, and that's the beauty of even cherry picking. I feel like in the med spa world, you know, when you're a small business, it's different. Like med spas literally have like every single product that you could imagine. So when you get into your own business and you're in your own world, you're like, oh, okay, what do like my clients like actually want and need? And like, what are the common repurchases every month? And like, we may believe in all these products, but like, you can't keep buying stuff that's like that's just essentially collecting dust on the shelves.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I think that everybody makes that same mistake in the beginning, is you're so excited and you have so many, you're literally like picking every single product for every single like skin type concern, like anything you could imagine. I mean, that's what I did. I was like, I need this product for this. And then I'm like, oh crap, like I don't have a clientele for this, like yet at least. And so you kind of build as you go. You learn your own core products. And that's so funny that you're like, I love the oil cleanser from Epicutis, but like,
I didn't get huge feedback from like my client. They're like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, okay, well, you know,
like, I love
it doesn't mean they will.
Yeah, exactly. I felt that way with their lipid serum. Like I didn't fall in love with it.
No, I don't. I mean, I do use it as my microneedling.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's my Glide. But yeah, I think you learn that. And then, you know, one product line I didn't have yet was Color Science. And I remember how much I loved it.
Yeah.
And I went to one of their seminars and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. It was a buy-in. Like it was a lot to buy in, but I'm like, and I've already, you know, almost sold all of it. So
is it hard to keep up with the colors
so I don't carry every color.
Yeah.
I try to stick to the staples that I know are repurchased or some clients are already on. But you know, like as far as color bombs and lip shines go, and I might add more colors in later, but you know, just in the beginning I kind of and sometimes then it's not so overwhelming. I feel like if you have everything, they're like, oh, I don't know which color I should choose. Okay, I have XYZ. Here, this one's pretty. You know, like
you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to makeup shop when I'm at Sephora. Like, how am I supposed to know it looks good on me?
But Color Science is a huge seller. I mean, I did that order, and gosh, that was not that long ago, maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I've almost sold through all of it.
Wow.
So it's just, you know, one of those things that bringing it on, I was scared, but I'm like, oh, this has been great.
I mean,
and
who
it's
doesn't
fun to
love
make
makeup?
videos with Color Science. I don't know what it is about making a video with Color Science, and their company is very supportive. I feel like a lot of those, at least from the Atlantic side, as all the girls I know, they're just so supportive. You tag them in a reel and they, you know, they share it and it helps you and they love it and they comment, and even if you don't tag them, they find your stuff and see it and they end up sharing it. So it's a very supportive company.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. I'm like all for supportive companies. Like nothing drives me more crazy when a brand like doesn't recognize, like, I'm like, why? Like, just comment or like or something. Like,
I know.
I mean, even sharing, I'm like, that's like not doing the most, but that's like, wow, like you care about it.
I know. Yeah. You liked my stuff.
Yes. No, but like, it's truly like those little details that make such a big difference with companies. And I love that, like hearing that they are supportive. I mean, that's what we need, especially as estheticians that are building up brands and helping them and all the things that we believe in. That's amazing. But my last question I always ask is, if you had one piece of advice for a new esthetician, what would it be?
Definitely get experience. I really, really do feel like my derm experience helped me a lot. So even if you had a job where you were in derm for a couple years, I think just learning to know, like, even if if I see something that I think could be suspicious, I don't tell them what it is, even though I might know what it is because of my experience. I'm like, you just might want to get that checked. And I think that really, then they go get it checked and they're like, oh my gosh, that was like a basal cell. I'm so glad you told me about it. And it helps them, and they know you care, and you're looking at their skin at a deeper level. So I do think derm experience, and I do think, medical spa experience is great. I learned so many things at all the places I've worked at, and I think it's helped, shape me into the business owner I am today. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting experience and then taking that leap on your own. I mean, so I really think that just get your experience. Trying to go solo from the get-go is probably not the best.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, and I think a lot of estheticians might get burned out that way. So knowing, kind of the back end of things, working at other places, it just really helps. I mean, everyone has to start somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
So everyone starts their business. They've all worked for someone else. So I do think it's great, and you'll meet some great, supportive people. And I think connecting with other estheticians, I do want to mention. I have a few just business owners in general that have just shaped me and helped me through my journey, you being one. And then my friend, Savvy Chic Beauty, Karen, she is amazing. She's always there when I call her. She's been a great supportive friend of mine.
I know. We need people like that. Especially in the aesthetics industry, we need our mentors. We need our support, our business owner friends. And then I love your advice. Everybody starts somewhere. I started as a receptionist. So like everybody has their own journey, right?
Everybody does.
But that is such great advice. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. Where can people find you?
On Instagram, yes. So my business is glow_grace aesthetics. And then my esthetician, I still have that page, is aubrey.le_aesthetics. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook as well, and TikTok. I don't post as much on TikTok. I forget about it.
I know, right? TikTok's kind of
a little overwhelming.
It's another, it's another platform that's overwhelming, but we'll stick to Instagram for now. We'll be sure to link those below. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.